Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here from Safi Financial Network. Today is August 26, 2024. Here is another daily analysis. All right, so let's start with S&P 500. This is S&P 500 daily chart. And as you see here, we just got a kind of like another bearish harami just at the top here. So everyone is just expecting NVDA earning coming this Wednesday after hours. And this is kind of like a very, very blockbuster actually. And it's going to just provide a huge, I should say, kind of like a breakthrough resistance or kind of like a breakdown to these levels. So that's not only for NVIDIA chart, it's going to just put lots of volatility and puts lots of pressure on Nasdaq and also S&P 500 as well. However, without considering NVIDIA earning on Wednesday, I should say market is kind of like in a very, very nice formation of ending diagonal. That's what we call this kind of like a pattern is forming. This is not a bull flag, a typical bull flag, which is coming down, consolidating like this prior the next breakout to the upside. This is going up and then going higher and higher and higher. Usually this ending diagonal, this is not the case all the time. We have the other way as well, but most of the time, I should say, ending diagonal is going to end up through to the downside. And in a 50% Fibonacci retracement or even 38% Fibonacci, it depends on the market situation. But this is another scenario of ending diagonal that I'm just looking for a kind of like a drop. We may see for the next few days, not even a week, that market can see in its movement. And why this 5,400, 5,450? Just because look at these wide swings here. So we have lots of volatility around like later months of July. And we see kind of like the scenario that market just initiate this drop here. So we didn't have a back test here. We had a breakthrough to the upside. We didn't have a back test. So if market goes down, I should say, if market goes down to here, to this area, 54 to 54.50, we shouldn't be surprised at all. So we can see we can expect some kind of like a volatility going down, especially for the first 2 weeks of the September, and then forming another kind of like a scenario to the upside. And then again, the second half of September, we can see some kind of like volatility to the downside of the market. So this is kind of like a seasonal price action that I see. But I should say the upside target is going to be very limited, at least for this stage of the game. If NVIDIA mining is going to just boost the market higher to new all-time high, yeah, we can see that. But without considering that bullish momentum from NVIDIA, we can expect a volatility going down to 54 to 54.50, then just forming the bottom for the next bottom information. Stochastic momentum, as you see here, we are kind of like seeing a bear reversal just happening in overbought condition. Also, MACD is forming a nice signal to the downside as well. So sloping down means momentum is kind of like shifting to the negative way. Still, it is positive, but it's just slightly going lower. Moving on to Nasdaq, which was kind of like a negative today, and that was kind of like the booster for S&P 500 to going down. Here is the Nasdaq daily chart. And as you see here, Nasdaq is just rolling over, very obvious. MACD is down, stochastic momentum already put like a bearish crossover here, just forming a nice dip to the downside. So the next bottom formation could be kind of like the scenario that we are waiting for. We can get kind of like to this level, parallel to this level, which is going to be 18,600 to 18,700. Nasdaq is going to be kind of like the scenario that I'm looking at. If we see 2 hours chart, so let me just show this, or even 1 hour chart. Actually, the 2 hours chart is forming very better. Even in my channel, I just put it there. So we are seeing kind of like a very nice head and shoulder formation here. At least I should say I put a very nice bearish momentum is forming here. So if I want to show you here, let me clean up these lines here. If I want to show you here, pretty interesting. So it is not the identical head and shoulder that we expect. This is kind of like a shoulder. This is double head, and this is kind of like a right shoulder. So however, the neckline is very, very obvious that we are kind of like a consolidating just at this neckline. So if you want to see that, this consolidation is exactly the same bearish consolidation that I want to see. So potentially, London session is going to open in next 6 hours, and potentially even tomorrow, if we see some kind of like a downtick or sell-off all the way to here, to this important institution area, which is going to be 18,800 to 19,100. So that's the level that I'm looking for. Nasdaq drop here for a next bottoming formation. So we will see if that triggers to the downside. That's going to be kind of like the short setup that I'm taking right now. Moving on to Dow Jones, Dow kind of like forming a very nice shadow here. Potential, actually Dow hit new all-time high. So this is interesting. Dow hit a nominal new all-time high, early session, but sold off after that sharply. So as I said, Dow could be the first one hit new all-time high. And sure enough, we just got, so we just a nominal all-time high for Dow Jones, while Nasdaq lagging, sorry. So this is kind of like an early signal that market is gonna show a weakness, and Dow could kind of like follow the Nasdaq and the other ones as well, but not that deep. So the lower expectation that I can see for Dow is gonna be somewhere around 40,500. So 40,500, that's the area that I'm looking at for Dow Jones. Moving on to gold, which was kind of like a consolidating. Today, gold was positive, not a bad session. It is consolidating prior this reverse head and shoulder neckline. So this is a neckline that we have for a reverse head and shoulder. And the more consolidation means the better breakout is coming down the road. And for and 26 to 2,700 is coming down the road for gold. We just need to be kind of like patient with this. But when I see these two levels, I should say everyone needs to be careful, and we should just take some profits off the table for gold and gold miners. Moving on to silver, which is the next chart. So silver is showing kind of like the doji bar as well. It's kind of like a following gold as well. This is kind of like the dangerous area, or I should say the pivotal point for silver. So I'm not surprised if you see silver is coming down for a next bottoming formation here for a fantastic rally to the upside. I should say silver has more potential than gold because silver is just forming a multi, I should say weeks, or I should say multi-months or weeks pattern to the upside. So we need just another potential higher low for a next bottoming formation for silver. Silver is going to be very, very good potential for buying opportunity down the road around 26, 27 dollar per ounce. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to crude, crude had a nice surge to the upside. So this is kind of like the scenario that we were expecting for. And crude, due to geopolitical tensions, it's just getting to $78 per barrel. So right now, WTI is just getting to here. And I'm just looking for another potential, a lower low for crude for a great buying opportunity. I'm just expecting crude cycle is getting bottom somewhere around September to October. So months of September is coming. If we see some kind of like a flash crash for crude or any downside move, potential, I would say that's going to be the ideal scenario here. If we see a cycle bottom, 61 to 65. So this is the area that I'm looking for. Buy crude with two hands if it gets there. So waiting for this area for a long time and be patient. So the patience is going to be key here. Moving on to individual names, starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin just had a negative day today. This bullish consolidation didn't work out, just coming back down. I believe Bitcoin can get to 62,000. And then after that, if it surged back to 70,000, that's very, very bullish sign. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum is down, but this chart show me like a very nice bullish consolidation here. It's kind of like a ping pong box here, just going up and down. If Ethereum breaks through, I should say that's going to be very strong breakthrough to 3,200. So 3,200 for Ethereum is very nice level to see if it get there. So this is nice bullish consolidation and let it do its things. Moving on to bond yield. Bond yield after this H pattern is forming nicely, and I should say if we get down here to 3.64%, we should see some kind of like breakdown to lower low. But right now, I should say bond yield is very weak. Bond yield is top tier. Interest rate is top tier. The same as dollar index as well. So we will get to dollar index. I should say when we break through this at 3.7, 3.6, then 3.2 is coming down the road. Moving on to treasuries. Treasury is down today and 25 basis to the downside. This is very nice pattern here for treasury. As you see here, we are kind of like seeing a higher low down the road. When bond yield is coming down and stock market is going to correction, I believe treasury after just a minor pullback around 95, we can see some kind of like a big surge to 103 to 105. That's the area that I'm looking at for treasury. Moving on to VIX, which was positive today slightly, just at 1.83%. And VIX, we should see some kind of like a bottom information before the next surge to the upside. I believe the next surge is coming in September. Dixie just had an uptick today, 15 cents up. Not a bad session. This is very, very important pivot for Dixie. So Dixie can just form a bounce here to 101, but after that we can get to sub 100, and that shows dollar topped for multi-months, I should say, and still we should expect more lower low. Moving on to magma indicator. Magma indicator is rolling over to the downside. This one is just forming, not this line, actually this is the line. So this one is forming kind of like a bearish momentum, potentially to here to this area. We will see how it's going to react to this level. So this is kind of like an extreme low, but somewhere around here or even a 14.25, that's the level that I'm looking for, magma indicator. Moving on to Apple, just at 34 cents up. Not a bad session for Apple, considering Nasdaq was down, and Apple just hold up very well. I believe Apple can have a rollover. If it rolls over below 220, then Apple is going to be a sharp sell-off, I should say, below this pivot. And that's going to be kind of like very interesting because we can see Apple 160 to 165 immediately. So it depends on the pivot. I'm not saying Apple can go down. I'm saying if Apple goes down below this 220, that's the signal for 200. Below 200, 167 is coming. Moving on to Amazon after like a 3 days consecutive low, it's just going down. Gap field going down. The momentum is not up at all. So Amazon is just forming. This is high. This is a lower high, and this is another lower high. So it can go lower down as well. Moving on to Meta. Meta is going down, but last hour of the trading session, it goes higher. However, after hours, it took a hit. Meta is down $6.88 today, rolling over slightly. Microsoft, this chart is sick. I'm not favorite. This is not my favorite, I should say. This is weak, guys. So when Microsoft is weak, I'm kind of like concerned about the overall stock market because this chart is not looking good. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to Google. Google as well. So this is kind of like a lagging as well after new all-time high in July. Google cannot manage even to 50% retracement to this from this top to this bottom. It's just forming a very typical bear flag here with a bigger pull here. So if we see a breakthrough, we can see more stretch down for Google down the road. Moving here to Netflix. Netflix $1.71 up, not a bad session. Netflix actually hold up very well. Tesla down 3% down. I believe Tesla, if it goes below a Friday session or Thursday session low, it can easily go down to sub 200 level again. Semiconductor index is just showing a rollover here, which is not a good news for NVIDIA right now. Probably NVIDIA is gonna hold up very well. SOX, the same pattern here, just going down. So this is not good. This is not a bullish sign at all. Taiwan Semiconductor is just forming another bearish harami. AMD, $4.99 down, rejected 157. AMD goes down. NVIDIA just consolidating here. This is a not bad pattern at all. So this is kind of like a bullish consolidation. Everyone, as I said, is waiting for this, and it's kind of like I believe 500 million put option, just in the dark pool activity. We saw that, and who knows, it's gonna just a breakthrough to the upside or downside. This is kind of like a gamble. Everyone knows that NVIDIA earning is gonna be fantastic, but it depends on market expectation. If market expects more and more and higher more earnings, even 100% profit is not going to be favorable. Seems like market is very, very in la land in this stock, and everyone is waiting for some astonishing number. I believe this is going to be a fantastic, but I don't know if it's going to satisfy the market expectation as well. So 13% to 20% actually, kind of like a movement is coming for NVIDIA after hours. Wednesday session is going to be very, very interesting. I encourage everyone needs to watch that one as well. Moving on to the Texas Instrument, going down today, $1.63 down. Lam Research just slaughtering today, 3.36 cents, 3.36% to the downside. Lam Research can go down to here, to this area, I believe. That is the level that everyone needs to keep an eye on, which is somewhere around 640 to 680. Right now we are at 1880. Moving on to XLF, which hit new all-time high, but gravest and doji at the top. This is not a bullish sign at all. KBE actually topped as well here. Seems like 53 cents down, just a gapped up, and the sellers took control the entire session. KRE, the same pattern here. JP Morgan hit new all-time high today, 86 cents up. Goldman Sachs are going down, not a new all-time high, pretty close. Bank of America, 15 cents up, far away from all-time high. And also Wells Fargo is just 2 cents up, but sellers took control the entire session. GDX, gold miners, just going down. It does not follow gold, which is not a good news. However, it was like a shallow dip, 11 cents down. GDXJ, 31 cents down. AEM, 41 cents down. Newmont at 22 cents up. However, sellers took control the entire session. Franco-Nevada 51 cents up today. Not a bad session, but laggard compared to the other one. And Gold Barrick is just consolidating here. 3 cents down. Not a bad session. Overall, I should say it's holding up very well. Moving on to the last sector for today. 81 cents up for XLE after crude jump. It didn't follow properly. XOP, the same pattern here, 95 cents up. Sellers took control the entire session. OH, $2.14 up. Exxon, a nice jump, hold up nicely, good consolidation, still holding up nicely. And Chevron, I know it's laggard, but this is ugly, guys. 88 cents up, seriously, just sellers took control the entire session. And I believe this one is going low when September bottom is forming for energy market. We can see 130 to 136 for Chevron down the road. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.